today's lecture we will discuss the next two database structures. One is the partition and second is the cluster, which is also called bucket or the cluster. Right. So in the last lecture we have discussed that tables are further divided into two parts or are of two types. One is the internal tables and second is the external tables. Right. So the internal tables, they are managed by the Hive, right? And there is a directory called users slash Hive slash warehouse where it stores the data related to that table. But in case of external tables, we have to explicitly specify that we are going to create an external table. Right? So here Hive does not manage the data. So if we apply the drop command on the internal table and the external table, the difference is in case of internal tables, everything will be managed by the Hive, and it will delete the data and the metadata data from the HDFS. Whereas in case of external tables, this is it will only delete the metadata, will not be deleted, right? Okay. So the next component of this particular data model is the partition. Right. Now, what happens in case of Hive, because as we have discussed from the first lecture, that Hive converts SQL queries into MapReduce jobs, right, and then submit it to the cluster. Right. So when we submit a SQL query to Hive, basically Hive reads the entire data set. Right. So sometimes it becomes very inefficient to run MapReduce jobs over a large table. So to resolve such kind of a issue where it becomes quite complex to run MapReduce jobs because it reads all the data set when we run and give a query. The solution of this problem is we can create partitions in the table. Right. So it's very easy. It becomes very easy when we create a partition, because when we create a partition, there are two ways. One, we can automatically specify the partition at the time of the table creation. Right. So when we divide the table, a large table, into partitions, or the multiple partitions, and the partitions, they will be based on specific values of a partition column. Right. So we will divide the large table into small tables, which are called partitions, on the basis of some values in the particular column, and that column is called the partition column. Fine. So this is the whole idea behind the partitions, to divide the large or the entire data set into smaller parts on the basis of the values in the columns. Right. So that when we run query give query to the Hive, so it would be easier for the Hive to run MapReduce jobs on the particular query. Right. So we can say partitioning is an optimization technique. Is the optimization technique. Which improves the performance of query execution, or you can say which improves the performance simply. So this is the major introduction, or you can say the major functionality of the partition is to basically divide the large data set into smaller tables or partitions on the basis of the values which are stored in a column, in a particular column. Right. So this Hive basically organize tables into partitions. So this Hive organizes tables into partitions. right? Based on column or partition key. I will discuss one example to clarify what is the meaning of this. Right? So the risk of the outcome of this particular topic is that we have a large data set, and Hive provides us a functionality through which we can divide the large data set into smaller tables, which are called partitions. Fine. So when we divide the large data set into partitions, what it helps in, it basically helps in reducing the input output time required for the by the query. And so it also decreases the input output time required by the query, because when we run a query on the large data set, it will take more time, and when we have a partition or a small group of elements from the whole data set, then it will take less time. Right? So that's why this partition, it increases the performance. It increases the performance speed. Right? So this is all about this partitions. Let me add one more sliding. Just a minute. So this is partition. Then the third structure of this Hive data model is called the buckets. Right? Buckets is also a technique. It is a technique to decompose the table. It's a technique to decompose table data set into more manageable parts, just like our partitions. Right? Manageable parts or the smaller parts, they are called buckets. And so buckets is a technique to decompose table data set into more manageable parts called buckets. Right? So both partition and bucket, their job is to divide the large data set into smaller parts. But in case of partition, we will divide the large data set into smaller parts on the basis of the value which is stored in a column. Fine. But in case of buckets, the subdivision is based on the hash function of a table, of a column in the table. Right. So here in the previous case, we divide the large data set on the basis of the columns. But in this case, bucketing, the subdivision into buckets is based on the hash function, on the basis of hash function of a column in the table. Fine. So again, this helps in the purpose of bucketing is basically again to run queries more efficiently. because we again instead of having the reading the large data sets, we have divided it to partition. Further, we have divided the partition into buckets, fine, by using the hash function. So this would again further helps in running the queries more efficiently. Let me give an example of this. Let's say we have a student table. Right? So we have this student table comprises of records of let's say 10,000 or 1 lakh students. Right? So what, and all the students, they are basically belongs to the engineering stream. So what we did over here is we have divided this table into parts based on the column, department, or the branch. Let's say we have this column in our table, department or branch. So we divided this complete table into partitions on the basis of this column, department. So let's say this is department ECE. Then we have department CAC. Then we have department EE. And let's say this is the last department, we have department MBA. So all these, they are called partitions on the basis of one column, and that column is department. So we have created different columns, partitions on the basis of this particular column, department. Now within that EC department, we can create buckets. So this is bucket 1, bucket 2, fine. So let's say we have applied a hash function on this particular department, and we have divided this further by applying function on the department to find out the students who belongs to first year, the students who belongs to second year, the students who belongs to third year, and the final year. Fine, because this particular partition, it will give you all the students which are there in EC. But if you further would like to find out to basically divide the student on the basis of some hash functions, we can create different buckets. Fair. So this bucket may contain roll number, name, and semester. Similarly, this roll number also, this bucket also contains name and semester. So if we run a query on, if we want to find out a student who belongs to EC branch of let's say 4th semester, then instead of searching that student over here, we can directly go to this particular basket and we can find out that student. So the search space is reduced from this large data sets to only this small bucket. Let's say here we have 50,000 students overall in EC. Let's say we have 10,000 students, and now let's say here we have 100 students or 1,000 students here, 1,000 students here, like this. So this is 4,000 students, let's say. So if 4,000 students are there, so 1,000 students per bucket. So earlier if we don't go with the partition of the bucketing, then we have to search for 50,000 students. But with the help of bucketing, we are only searching for this particular bucket comprises of 1,000. So the search space has been reduced in this case. Fine, this is the concept of bucketing. Fine. Okay. So now we move to the next topic, which is the Hive query language. Right. Now Hive query language is basically it is similar to our SQL. So as I have told you during the introductory lectures that this is Hive query language is similar to SQL query language. Fine. So this would help us to query or manage large data set, and that language that we will use is called Hive query language. Right. So there are two kinds of commands in this: data definition language and data manipulation language. So I think these two terms are very much clear to you. So what is the purpose of DDL? These are the statements they are used for defining or changing the structure of the table or the database in Hive. We can also modify the tables or the other objects which we can create in Hive. Right? We can alter, we can drop things like that. We can perform various operations by using the data definition language. Similarly, in case of data manipulation language, we have the commands to insert, update, retrieve, delete the data from the Hive tables. Once we have created those tables by using DDL language commands, we can further insert or update the data which is there in the tables by using the data manipulation language. So this is I think clear to everyone, because in SQL also we have discussed these two terminologies. Fine. So first of all, let us go with this data definition language. Here we have different DDL commands like create, show, describe, use, drop, alter, and truncate. And here we can see that with the help of create command, we can create a database and table. So that means create command is applicable on the database also. We can create database with the help of create command, and with the help of create command, we can also create tables. Then this show command is applicable to many things: databases, tables, table properties, partitions, functions, and indexes. So we can show tables, we can show databases, we can show table properties by using the show command. Then describe command, they are applicable on databases, tables, and views. So they help us to see the structure of the database or the table that we have created by using the create command. Then use command is this because there is a default database in Hive, which is the name of that database is default. And so if you don't create your own database, all the tables that you will create, they will go into this default database. Right. So first step is we have to create a database, and then to create tables within the database, we have to use database command. Right. So it is applicable on this use database, on the database only. So there is no table here. Then drop command, which is basically used to drop databases as well as tables. So it is applicable on both databases as well as tables. Then alter command is to change the structure of your databases, or you want to insert something, or you want to add something into it, or rename the database tables. Then we can use this alter command, and it is again applicable on databases and tables. Then truncate command is used on the table only. It is used to delete all the rows of the table or the data from the table. So that's why, because our database does not have any data, the tables, they will create the data. So that's why truncate command will be applicable only on the tables, not on the databases. Right? So one by one, we will discuss all these commands and their syntaxes. I will also show you a practical demonstration of all these commands.